Hey, how's it going? I'm IlaGolden and welcome to my vlog. Alright, okay, so it's been 1 year, just over, since I first uploaded a vlog onto this channel. So it's been, I think, a gap of about 5 to 6 years between my last poetry video going up and my first vlog going up. Um, And as I've sort of mentioned in some of my past vlogs, the whole reason I sort of started trying to do this again was as a way of getting people to know who I was as a writer. And you know, the whole point of this channel to sort of begin with was a writer's experiment, a way of, you know, letting people know, hey, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do. You know, you might find it interesting, and if you do, great, help support my writing, help me get all the stories that I have to tell out there so that people can enjoy them. And yeah, it's not necessarily been an overly successful experiment so far. The channel's not, you know, not taken off, it's not got like loads of views on any of my videos. I mean, there's steady views. In, you know, some things do better than other things, and you know, it's slow progress, very slow progress, but in a lot of ways I don't mind. I kind of just enjoy doing it. As I sort of mentioned in sort of my hobbies vlog a few weeks ago, you know, I don't really consider myself to be a person who really has hobbies, which means a lot of my free time before I started doing the vlogs and before I started putting a lot more into this channel, like with the Ila Read stuff, I've spent just kind of lazing around and not really doing very much. Yeah, I had my writing that I would get on with, and yeah, you know, I had various other bits and pieces that I was interested in I might do, but most of my free time was spent being kind of lazy. Unashamedly lazy, really. Sort of since I started doing this, it's sort of given me something to focus on each week. It's given me something I can sort of do that I can kind of say, well, this is what I've done with my spare time. This is what I've done with that day off that I had. This is, you know, something I've done which may or may not help progress my career in the future, but I've done it and I'm proud of it, and I've not necessarily grown as part of the experience, but it's something that it's something that I feel has benefited me on a personal level, even if it's not necessarily done much for anything else thus far. And who knows, might come up with the right video in a week or so from now, and suddenly this channel gets huge out of nowhere. But if not, it's still something I enjoy doing, and you know, I kind of wish people would take more of an interest in Ila Reads than necessarily the vlogs, but I can't control what people watch and what they don't watch, and you know, it's a shame that, you know, none of my videos are overly successful at the moment. But again, it's not, I think for me, it's no longer so much about that. It's about having something that I can focus on, that I can do, and it does help drive and motivate me in my writing as well, because it gets me to think about it more, and it gets me to, you know, when I'm doing it, be a little bit more passionate, and sort of it's brought me back to life a little bit, especially after all the things that kind of had happened in the lead up to me releasing Echo last year, and to starting this blog as well. There was a lot that kind of went on, and in over a 2 year period, which, you know, was a lot for me to have to deal with, and you know, there are still sort of some things that I am continuing to have to deal with emotionally, you know, because that's how life goes. You can't, you know, clean cut your emotions and you know, suddenly everything's all better. You know, there are things that do linger with you for a lot longer than you might like, and you know, having something like this, something that I've been able to focus on and just do and enjoy doing so much, it's, you know, it's, yeah. And that's kind of, I think, where I kind of am at with the vlog. It's exciting that I've been doing it for a year. It's exciting that I've kept up with it for this long, even though it's not done what I was hoping it would do, but it's done something else, and that something else is why I keep doing it. So, you know, whether or not this ever becomes big, whether or not this ever gets me anywhere, it kind of doesn't matter anymore at this point. I will keep doing this for as long as I want to keep doing this, and that's kind of the point. That's kind of what matters. You know, at some point I'll probably run out of things to say, and at that point, yes, that's probably when the last vlog will go up. But as long as I can keep coming up with things to say, as long as I keep enjoying the process of doing this, then I'm going to keep doing it, because, like I said, it gives me something in my life that I can focus on that is positive for me, even if it's not doing all the things I was hoping it would do when I first started doing the vlogs last year. It's doing something positive for me, something that I can kind of go, you know what, I'm not completely wasting my time when I'm not at work, when I'm not doing that day job. You know, I'm not completely wasting my time if I've decided that, you know, this week I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. You know, it's, yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to explain. Now, obviously, the way I do the vlogs has changed over the year that I've been doing it. I mean, a lot of my early vlogs were really long, and that wasn't necessarily the best thing for them. I definitely have had camera issues. I'm grateful for what I'm using now. The setup that I'm using now does work a lot better, not just in terms of the camera I'm using, but also in terms of the set, the location. The set that I'm using that just feels a lot more fluid and a lot more natural, and it feels like this channel has evolved as I've evolved, because people evolve all the time. It's one of the things I've sort of said in some of my previous vlogs, is that I do believe in personal growth and the evolution of the individual, and things like that. So to be able to sort of see kind of where I was at a year ago, and see where I'm at now, and like the various channel trailers that I've done that kind of show the progress of this channel, and how things have kind of gone from where they were a year ago to now, and the things that I offer on this channel now that I wasn't a year ago. And yeah, it feels like it's something I can be proud of. As I said, it doesn't matter that, you know, it's not the most popular channel out there. It doesn't matter that I don't get a huge amount of views ever. I do get slow, steady building of views on things. So, you know, there are people out there who are watching it, and for that I am truly grateful. But I think a lot of it now, it's no longer about that. It's about just doing it. It's about having that thing that you can focus on, that you can just do. And I think for me personally, that it's just been something that I've needed, and I kind of didn't realize how much I did need it, until I started doing it, until I started really getting into it and seeing the potential that it had, and finding the ways of just getting on with things, and how this is a way of just getting on with things, and doing things. And if one day it helps me tremendously, great, fantastic. I look forward to that day. And if it always remains as it is, great, fantastic. It's still something that I have done, that I can say that I have done. And that's kind of what matters. To me, at least at this point, that is very much what matters. So, yeah. For those of you out there who have been with me for the last year, thank you so much. Hopefully the year to come will be just as interesting. I'm not going to say good, because, you know, that's probably debatable, but will be just as interesting as the year that, you know, we've just had. You know, I'm not planning any major changes to the channel itself, but as people know from the update I did last week, there's exciting stuff that will be happening over the summer with the release of Hyena Boy. Fingers crossed for that going on schedule now. And, you know, just, yeah, yeah, so I'm looking forward to the future of this channel. I'm looking forward to the future of my writing career. I'm in a much better, much more positive place now than I was when I started this a year ago. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what matters. That's kind of what you want. Next time, I'm going to be talking about something a little different, a little bit more serious, kind of, I think. And I'm going to be talking about the issues I have with my health. This is something I've mentioned in passing a few times in some of my previous vlogs, but it's something that I feel that I need to address properly with you guys for a few reasons. So yeah, next one is kind of going to be all about that. Not quite sure yet how that's going to go, but fingers crossed it will go well. So what else do I have left to say? Well, thank you. Thank you all for spending this last wonderful year with me. Thank you for watching me. And hopefully there's a lot more to come. So I will see you next time. See ya. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to check out some of my others, and if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. See ya!